RIP to Renee Good, you know what I'm saying? She was a great woman, you know what I'm saying, who was just trying to shout down people to let everybody know that ICE was coming, and unfortunately she got murdered because she went against the Trump regime. RIP to Renee Goodman, and to the officer, or not even officer, I mean these ICE agents, they're just a bunch of retard white supremacists that don't know how to do their fucking job. Well, they do know how to do their job, but you know what kind of people these people are. You know what I mean? The Nazi, you know, whatever. Right? So apparently, I'm not gonna show the video footage because y'all probably already seen it by now. But apparently, we have the POV of the ICE agent who shot her. I'm guessing. We got ourselves new ICE agent POV released. Man, bro, this whole shit that's been going on it's weird, man.
All right, Minneapolis, everyone is losing it. Actually, all across the nation, people are protesting.
I would hope so,
because of the shooting involving an ICE officer.
Yeah, this guy right name. His name is Jonathan Ross. If you guys don't know who that guy is, you know what I mean. Yeah.
And a woman who's a U.S. citizen in her car.
Yeah, we didn't have access to this footage before we hit the record button.
Minnesota ICE shooting. New footage shows fatal interaction from agent's POV. So they do have...
Here's footage from the actual officer's perspective.
Okay, she was moving.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
Oh, shit.
The Department of Homeland Security.
Wait. Okay, now that I see from this POV, it looks kind of, you know what I mean?
The woman had tried to run over officers with her car.
Okay.
They called it an act of terrorism.
My only question is, if you guys thought this shoe was this dangerous domestic terrorist...
She was literally just chilling, bruh. You know what I mean? She was chilling. She wasn't even doing really nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Apparently, she was leaving her house. From the looks of it, I guess. I don't know.
If she was a domestic terrorist and some dangerous perp, why would you circle the car like this and be in front of it?
Because they're looking for an excuse to murder her. That's why.
In danger.
How do you understand what happened?
What I saw from the video is that I don't know why she was positioned that way in the street.
I don't know.
From what I saw, she was waving cars by.
Yeah.
And waved again, and the car stopped. And then the ICE agents got out.
So the government's account is that one of the ICE officers was stuck in a snowbank. And as a result of that, they were trying to get him out. During that time, a lot of people were kind of chasing them out because people have been going against ICE everywhere they've been. And during this time, they're claiming that this lady was part of the people blocking them in. And as they were trying to leave, that's where some of them approached her.
Sure. What the government is saying doesn't match what I saw. The cop that allegedly shoots her gets out of the car, circle around the car with his...
By the way, apparently this same guy had gotten ran over by a car and had to get like 33 stitches. You know what I mean? The government was saying like, oh, the guy had trauma because of it. If he had trauma, then why the fuck did he walk all around the car feeling safe the entire time?
Phone out. The second thing that is weird is whenever you do a stop, there's a way to position yourself.
Yeah.
And in front of the vehicle is not where the position is.
True.
You're driving, they're not positioning themselves there. They're behind. It's the same thing that happens there. This dude goes in front of. And then the other thing that struck me and that was kind of weird was the way the whole thing happened. Phone, let me shoot.
Yeah. I feel like they were looking for an excuse to shoot her.
And then the way he holstered and just casually walked to the car that was later on after that crashed because the lady was probably stepping on the gas while she expired. It's just the way that he was like, let me holster this and let me just. There was no procedures. Nobody was trained. All right, get out of the car and start to yank on the.
Yeah, that, you know what I mean? From his POV, it looked like she did like nick him a little bit, but he it wasn't like he could have gotten out of the way. You know what I mean? So it still doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? You were completely out of the way and then you shot 3 times. There's no excuse for that.
The agent, the way he was acting, it felt like he wanted to shoot someone.
Yeah. No, he was looking for a reason. He was looking for a reason.
I think
about that?
As far as the legal case goes for this, you know, everyone's gonna have
even from the other perspective, it looked like she was, you know what I mean? He was just looking for a reason, bro. But like, my thing is, man, bro, you go against the Trump regime, bro, you gonna die, bro.
I think a lot of people feel like it's clear-cut murder. In my experience, whenever it involves law enforcement, whatever the public thinks is clear-cut murder doesn't really matter in legal standards, because like you see it all the time with killings that happen on camera, with motherfuckers pull out guns just blasting everywhere. They get off almost all the time. So like cops have pretty strong immunity, and I understand that DHS agents aren't necessarily cops, but they do operate as federal agents. So, you know.
Yeah, and you should be trained to know what the fuck you know you're supposed to do to prevent a situation like this from happening.
They're going to have quite a lot of leeway as to how they fear for their lives. And the woman, when she's pulling out, nearly does or kind of starts to hit the guy, but he's already on the side before he starts shooting.
Yeah,
so
he was already out
in a court of law. And I'm not going to sit here, they're going to jail. I don't know. If I had to put my money on it, they're not going to jail.
No, they're not going to jail. And
even if they did, Orange Man's gonna pardon him because he don't give a fuck about the law.
Because
the law means nothing
yeah.
to him.
He not. It doesn't even matter.
In Venezuela because of drugs, and then he pardons like a former president who sold so much drugs in his country. Nothing matters.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't matter. It's not
him being accountable. Don't count on it, in my opinion.
Okay.
When I watched the clip, I cued in on the exact same thing, which is why would you ever go in front of a vehicle that way?
Yeah. Why would you go in front of a running vehicle?
The other side too.
You're telling her to, you know what I mean, to get out of the car, and you're trying to force the door open. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a really bad practice for the safety of yourself and for the situation, because you're going to make it escalate if you get hit.
100%.
And then you put yourself in jeopardy. So it's just bad police practice. But then also like shooting the person in the car is also bad. But even if you get them.
There is no reason for him to shoot her. Like, there was no reason to shoot her. So, like, yeah, maybe she nicked him, and maybe he panicked there, but even still, if he wanted to defend himself, he can just dive out the fucking way. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? You don't gotta shoot her while she's driving in a running vehicle. You know what I mean? Because that car could have went off and then crashed into a house and murdered a whole family. You know what I mean? Like
if their foot is still on the pedal,
it was just bad, bro.
And they just press, which is very natural for a lot of people to do. They're running right into a house in a residential area.
Yep.
If the cameraman was not behind the thing, but in front, he might have got hit by the car. So it's really stupid in so many different ways, him shooting at the car. People are saying, well, this woman's, first off, she wasn't going that fast. But
she was not going that fast. She was not. Even in both perspectives, she was not going that fast. She was not trying to hit the person.
Shooting her ensures that she has no control over her vehicle.
But I think why, like, that's another thing too is why was he recording? Like, you know what I mean?
So it's not a good thing. And at the same time, fleeing isn't a crime worthy of you having to shoot. Now, they're going to make the argument, if I'm being fair, where they're saying she's using this vehicle as a deadly weapon or whatever it could be.
That's
If you look
stupid
at the
ass.
position of the tires, she was not going towards the officer. She was going
There was no intent to murder him.
away from him.
And if I'm,
But then again, that's going to be me.
you know, that's something they're going to argue in court.
Yeah, because the cop
and
is not
you
seeing
can
that.
see he is quite close by the time it happened.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what the legal defense is going to be.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Because you got to go
100%.
beyond a reasonable doubt.
100%.
And you guys might not like this, but oftentimes cops get that doubt. More often than not.
100%.
It's not even part of DHS.
If he has all this trauma and all these problems and he was that terrified, why is he even working for ICE in the first place? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he is not fit for that job at all. Like, if he's just shooting at a car going 3 miles per hour, bro. Like,
Policy to go after somebody in terms of a chase like this.
In my 25 years, I've done hundreds of vehicle stops. If someone is fleeing, that is not a justification for the use of deadly force.
Under the Department of Homeland Security's use of force policy,
I think the biggest thing that made them guilty was how fast Christy Nome and all of them responded. Like literally within the hour of it happening, they responded and they gave like a terrible response. But yeah, man.
Arms may not be discharged solely to disable a moving vehicle.
Okay.
And shooting at a moving vehicle is tightly restricted.
So my training was that you cannot use deadly or lethal force solely to stop a fleeing vehicle.
In 1994, 95, we changed it in LAPD when I was there in 2004. But it's basically simple, which is if you're confronted by a moving vehicle that could be a threat to you, get out of the way.
Exactly. Get out of the way. Why are you shooting? What, so she can die, stomp on the gas, and drive into someone else? You fucking moron.
Vehicle, and don't shoot at a car.
Like,
now,
So all the people who claim to care about law and order or rules, they don't.
They
Like
don't.
I said,
They don't
they're not even
care.
following their own rules and their own policy. But it goes even further than that. Let's just listen.
Because what they're doing is illegal. That's why they all wear masks. This isn't the first time someone got shot and died because of an ICE agent. This is not the first
A
time.
little bit more.
DHS law enforcement officers are prohibited from discharging firearms at the operator of a moving vehicle or other conveyance unless the use of deadly force of the, basically it says, unless it...
This appears to be black and white.
Well, it does. And it also says a law enforcement officer must take into consideration the hazards that may be posed to law enforcement and innocent bystanders by an out-of-control vehicle.
They claim to want law and order, but they don't want it. What I predict is that this is going to escalate so much that eventually, I think within the year, winter's going to be over because these things, a lot of these things happen in the blue states and stuff. And I could predict a shootout. It's going to escalate to shootout civilian against ICE. It's going to be a whole ass civilian war over there.
So this person doesn't follow company protocol, doesn't follow DHS protocol.
These ICE agents, they're just, a lot of these ICE agents are white supremacist Nazis. And that's literally what ICE is, bro. They join the job because they hate black and proud people and they hate anybody that goes against Donald Trump. That to me is how I view this situation. Is it's their way of showing like, hey, we don't care who you are. If you get in the way of the Trump administration, or what I like to call it, the Trump regime, you deserve to die. There's already been other shootings and people getting taken to the hospital or dying because of ICE agents. This is not the first time, but this is what really showed how, like, I feel like the guy was looking for an excuse to shoot. There was no way.
He's incompetent by any standard. And I'm just going to ask the question. Is this man a DEI hire? I'm just wondering. I'm just saying. I remember Charlie Kirk saying, if I see a black pilot, I'm a wonder. Okay, well, shit. I've seen a lot of traffic stops, a lot of checkpoints. This is definitely the most incompetent one I ever seen.
One thing that I thought was interesting about this story is I got a chance to look up the officer himself, because a lot of people have been trying to figure out who he is and what he's about.
What began as a planned federal immigration arrest,
By the way, I want to remind you guys, his name is Jonathan Ross.
took a violent turn in this quiet Bloomington neighborhood. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply before a federal agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards. These graphic images show the aftermath.
It's the same agent.
Same agent. Yeah, yeah, he did. He got hurt. He had to get like 33 stitches. They were using the excuse that he had trauma. That's why he shot her, but that's not a fucking excuse, bro. You should not be if like no, bro. The nigga went on a power trip and just shot her. You know what I mean?
It's the exact same agent who pulled the gun and fired it on this lady.
Well, don't you see that he's the Punisher, and his name is Frank Castle?
And this is what I mean when I say incompetence. I don't mind that these people are executing this warrant. If this man's not supposed to be there, deport him. Do what you just gotta do. When you do stupid shit like that, you put yourself and others at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the incompetence that I have an issue with. My man just reaching in, and the guy just takes. Now you're putting yourself. Now you may have to use your firearm, or you may die yourself. The thing that always strikes me when I watch this,
that guy is just not fit for that job. Honestly, we shouldn't have ICE at all at this point. But
it's true for everything that this administration does in regards to world trade, everything like that. It's just everything is sloppy. Everything is sloppy. Everything is smoke and mirrors. Everything's just like, let's say none of us know what happened. Why the fuck are they coming out within an hour of the event itself and labeling the victim?
Because they're guilty. They're fucking guilty. That's why.
A terrorist.
A domestic terrorist.
Yeah. No. The Trump regime has called her a domestic terrorist. Anybody who goes against ICE, anybody who goes against this administration is an enemy. You know what I mean?
That quickly. Like Trump will say right now, oh, what she did was so bad, but we should wait for an investigation. But did you guys wait before you labeled her something publicly? Before you said what she is? No, right? And it's like, I have a hard time, just in general, like looking at the professionalism of the people who do this job. And looking at the people who support it and they don't care about professionalism.
100%.
They don't care about, they say, oh, law and order, whatever it is. Well, law and order requires people to have ethics, to have.
Yeah, but the ICE, they don't have ethics. They don't have morals.
What are we watching unfold? Super sensible. And you know what? If they'd come out and said that, I don't think I'd have as much thought. I still think it's a fucked up situation. But at the very least, this has never been an administration that cares about truth, doesn't care about consequence, doesn't care about law and order. They'll pardon anyone. Doesn't matter if you're caught on camera taking bribes, you're still in their office. They got motherfuckers literally taking cash money bribes for favorable contracts. And they're like, pardon, you're good, stay. So it just, there's nothing about this that's going to strike anyone as surprising in terms of how they're handling it. And that should frighten you, because if they can label you a terrorist, you understand that means that they can do all.
That means ICE can do whatever the fuck they want. That's why I literally said, like, anybody who gets in the way of these motherfuckers, they literally have the right to just shoot you. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's just what it is, bro. I mean, and even if he were to get prosecuted, Donald Trump would just pardon him, just how he pardoned the January 6th rioters. You know what I mean? And one of them ended up being a predator. You know what I mean?
To you, in terms of what kind of powers they can stick on you. And I've seen so many videos. There was a video even that same day. What's that? Look, what is that? What is that?
I'm gonna tell you what that is.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what that is.
What is that?
I'm gonna tell you what that is.
Tell me.
A nice car. It's a Dodge Durango.
Yeah,
Starting off the year with a bang. Federal agents, cops in general, are all given more powers than the average person. Okay. Yes, I can imagine that protesters are fucking annoying. They're disruptive. They're throwing snowballs, whatever.
You know what I mean? You fucking spray them in the fucking face. That just makes you look fucking.
Why is your window open so you can pepper spray them from your car? What is that? You're not making someone less of a threat.
ICE was just sent out to make everybody's life harder. That's all it was. It was not sent out to, deport, undocumented immigrants that have committed crimes. You know what I mean? Like, it was just used to just. Oh, you're Hispanic? Oh, you're a brown-skinned person? Where your papers at? You don't got your papers? Oh, well, you're coming with us. We're sending you to El Salvador to a fucking concentration camp or some shit. Like,
you're
come on,
blocking
bro.
up traffic, which means for the people behind you, then they have to deal with folks.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you any safer. All you go do this for is to get some payback. That's all it is.
That's all it is. It's all about payback. It's all about, like these people, they don't care, bro. It's, you know what I mean?
And the people who cheer on this lack of professionalism. But one day when it's going to get turned on them and they'll say, this is brutality you guys are endorsing a bigger state. You guys are endorsing them using excessive force. You guys are endorsing them doing these things, not because it's protecting the citizens.
It's not.
Because they don't like you and they don't like what you stand for or the fact that you're annoying.
Yep.
What is the reason they got out of there?
They don't like what you stand for. That's all it is. You are against the Trump regime. It's basically like the better way to say it. If you don't support Trump, if you are one of these libs or one of the, or a person of color, they view you as an enemy, bro. That is literally what it is, bro. if these people could just come up to you and just like shoot you down over a little, you know what I mean, like over a little nick by a car, that, you know what I mean, like
why do they have their window open to pepper spray?
Because that's a get back.
Okay, so
this is
these people. It's a get back. It's just payback. They don't care about doing their jobs. It's all about having authority over other people who they deem inferior. And that is all this shit is about.
Renegade. This is, I'm gonna get back to you. This is revenge.
Yep.
This is pettiness. If pettiness was a police officer.
And of course, Donald Trump is going to protect these people because Donald Trump wants revenge. Donald Trump wants people to get mad. Donald Trump wants, you know what I'm saying, for there to be civil unrest so he can declare martial law, right? To put out the Insurrection Act. That's all this shit is, bro. These people, they're looking for an excuse, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, like, oh, people are like, oh, it's funny to me. I get what you're just saying.
It's crazy.
The problem with this kind of attitude is that the job is not a joke.
No, it's everything.
If you treat it like a joke, then it's different, right? If you're doing these kind of like meme type advertisements to be like, fuck, aren't we funny and hilarious? You attract jokesters, and especially
the thing is, the point of, like I said, the point of ICE was not to deport people who illegally came here and committed crimes, you know, right? Like, they're doing this because they have the authority to do whatever they want, and so they can just shoot you. You know what I mean? That's why that guy fled, because, you know, bro, come on, no.
Like I said, that's what I'm talking about.
The American Nazi is Gestapo.
Because my experience working with the state, or at least being with the military, is the complete opposite. Like, you're expected to bend over backwards to make sure that you don't make the forces don't look bad, that you uphold, even if they're all coming after you. You can't do this.
That's when
but
the
this
force,
is opposite.
That's when the forces care. You know what? When I see this, what it reminds me to? It reminds me of a police force that you see in third world countries. They don't care.
Yep.
And no matter what they do, it's going to be on their side. It's going to be nationwide. Nationwide is on your side.
This. I know a lot of you guys like agree with me on this, but like, bro, it does not make sense that this guy is not getting tried for this. These ICE officers, what they're doing is illegal. Like, you know what I mean? That's why they wear masks and shit. They are the modern American Nazi Gestapo. That is what they are. If they think you're a threat or against the, you know, Trump administration or the Trump regime, bow, bow, bow. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, the guy did get hurt, you know, from, you know, that car, you know, a situation. But if he's that paranoid, he should not be out there. You know what I mean? If he's going out there looking for revenge, looking to murder someone because they don't support you, you know what I mean? That's not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. A lot of these ICE agents are white supremacist Proud Boys, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's going to get to a point where people, like what these guys said, you know, Admin Preach, civilians are going to start shooting back. And it is not going to end well for the ICE agents. It's not. And honestly, Donald Trump wants that to happen so he can declare martial law, pass the Insurrection Act. The rest is history.
So
that's all this is, bro.
What your opinion will be from Minnesota?
This fucking rat.
Rip Bozo situation. That's right. Yep, shouldn't be. Hey. They tell you stop moving your car, get out of the fucking car.
And then they walk up to the car and try to force you out of the car. Like, what do you think is gonna happen, bro? You know what I mean? Like, people like Asmongold, bro, just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand him. I don't understand Asmongold, man. I mean, she was a white lesbian. She had a wife. She had a dog. You know what I mean? She was yelling, letting people know that ICE was coming, for those who don't know. And then that's when they came. They told her to move out of the way. And then that's when they said, hey, get out of the car. And they're trying to force her out. You know what I mean? And then the rest is history.
And you start driving around and you get to end up shot. That's the way it is. Yeah. Yep. Rip Bozo.
You went against the Trump regime, you get shot,
so
nigga.
There you guys have it.
There you go.
Don't react the way that they like. If you flee and you do so in a stupid way or whatever it could be, Rip Bozo, fuck around, find out, whatever it could be. And I said, okay.
And this is a U.S. citizen. This is not an immigrant. This is not like a criminal. This is your average citizen. He did not have to pull out his gun in the first place. They're looking for a reason to murder someone. Okay? And they're looking for revenge for the Trump and all them. Like, that's all this shit is about, bro.
But again, when you guys are going to be talking about your rights, your state rights, whatever the fuck it is, and then the shoes on the other foot, I don't want to hear nothing. I remember this fucking goofball and a lot of the other people crying about January 6th when they were breaking the Capitol. Why did they have to kill that lady? She was just protesting. Okay, just remember, it will come for you, right? All these standards that they're setting, it's always funny when it's your turn.
Mm-hmm. Why was he still firing at her point blank from the side, even if she was completely out of the way? To neutralize the threat of her potentially running over other people.
So Asmongold, dumbass nigga, the guy that lives with rats around him. So what he's saying is okay, wait, hold on. This nigga's retarded. Let him re-explain this again. He's so retarded, I have to let him re-say that shit again.
It's always funny when it's your turn.
Mm-hmm. Why was he still firing at her point blank from the side, even if she was completely out of the way? To neutralize the threat of her potentially running over other people.
And a running car, and her dead body is limp, stomping on the gas pedal. Just driving straight into another car. Thank the heavens that she didn't drive into a building and murder the whole, and not murder, but killed a whole family. Like, it could have gotten that bad, bro. Killed other protesters in the area. You know what I mean?
Pause. She's not running away over people. But if you shoot her while she's driving a vehicle, she might. And the only reason why she stopped is because she rammed into two cars. Those two cars wouldn't be there. It could have been a whole other situation that would unfold. We don't know how far she would have gone.
Yeah,
and
she could have drove into another car and everything, house, whatever it is.
The velocity. So imagine it would pick up the car would have picked up the velocity. That's not how you shoot a threat. As a matter of fact, certain police chases stop because it is a threat for other people if something happens. If you do a pit maneuver and then it rams into three other cars, you're not in a better situation. The point is not to hurt other people. So if you shoot someone in a moving car that is moving away from you, you're potentially harming people. But like Abba said,
because these ICE agents don't give a fuck and they're retarded.
But this is not.
They are sloppy.
But this is not. He's saying this. It's not about safety of others.
It's not.
It's about punishment.
It's a get back.
That's it.
Yeah, it's all payback, bro. You know what I mean? I guarantee you that woman, she's a lesbian, so she might be a liberal. You know what I mean? She might be more left leaning. She might be against the Trump regime. You know what I mean? Which she was, and she was protesting, right? Like, I don't know, man, bro. This whole situation is just god-awfully fucking stupid. And the fact that dumbass niggas like Asmongold, like, laughs about it, it's just a reflection of himself. He hates himself. He hates his life. That's just what it is, man. I mean, that guy obviously was looking to murder her. This is the job of ICE. Anybody who is a person of color, or really just anybody who goes against Trump, you know what I mean? Whether it's a protest, whether it's just, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, clipped. You know what I mean? That's what it is. That's the message I got from this. You know what I mean? If I see ICE agents, because I'm against ICE agents, they can murder me. They can harass me, and you know what I mean? But don't worry, you know what I mean? I want like literally, I want every single ICE agent to be arrested, bro. Like, this shit is hella illegal. They should not be doing this. Donald Trump is a fucking moron.
That's all this is. It's far more dangerous to shoot someone in a moving vehicle. What if he missed? What if it goes through the windshield, hits the people who are recording right behind?
Yep.
What if it hits somebody else? If you don't even know what's on the other side, you shouldn't just start firing like that.
And no,
they were looking for a reason to shoot. That's
a stable non.
He was looking for a reason to shoot. That's why he was recording. From his POV, it looked like he nicked her. You know what I mean? Which she did a little bit, but it wasn't like she was driving 20, 30 miles per hour, trying to run him over, drive into a building. You know what I mean? She wasn't like trying to kill. You know what I mean? She was just trying to get out of the situation. The wheel was completely turned away. He knew this, so he shot, looking for an excuse to murder her. That's why he walked in front of the car. He wanted to do this. You know what I'm saying? The American Nazi Gestapo ICE. You know what I mean? And They will all be put in fucking prison, and used as slave labor.
Moving
as a prisoner.
Target, you can have ricochet, something that's moving even worse.
You can say whatever you want, but there's nothing about this that makes anybody safer. All right.
Nope.
I'm all for, charging people.
ICE's job is to make the community safer, but they're not making it safer. They're making it worse. All of them are. All of them. Not just him, not just Jonathan Ross. All of them are. And because of these, you know what I'm saying? And because of how people treat ICE, they feel like it's in their power, their authority to neutralize these people. That's anybody who goes against them and the regime is they have to die or they get harassed. You know what I mean? That's just what it is,
They commit a crime, that's fine. But there's a way to go about it based off the crime committed. People acting like this is a sensible thing and it keeps the public safer. If you like tyranny, keep doing your thing, I guess.
Is there such simple What? What are you talking about? This is so obvious.
You know why people say a lot of this stuff? It's because they feel like they're immune. They feel like it'll never touch them, so it's okay.
And they hate themselves.
Back up. See, all they need to do is just sit there. Anybody that walks on the road, just shoot them. With the paintball gun, right? I mean, I'm not talking about live ammo.
I mean, they already do that, Asmongold. They already shoot paintballs at the priest who was protesting. He got shot in the head by a paintball. So I don't know. I mean, Asmongold's a fucking moron,
shoot him with
bro.
the paintball gun.
They'll love see a lib get fucking pepper sprayed or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I just remind you, there will be elections coming up. The shoe will be on the other foot. And when it's going to be your turn, and then you're going to say brutality, there's going to be zero people who are going to give a fuck.
Ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. That was the whole situation. I wanted to react to more videos, but I saw the videos on my own time. The woman obviously was murdered. I know people have their opinions on, when it comes to politics, but me, it's as simple as we live in a third world country now. You know what I mean? These people, they get to do whatever they want. They can shoot you, murder you, and the Trump regime will do anything or say anything to make it seem like that's not the case. Even if they know that they're lying, they don't care, because if you go against the regime, you will die. And that's how I view this situation. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. It doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not. If you are against these people, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure from that video, and this isn't the only shooting that happened. There are other ICE shootings that have happened, and people have died, right? You know what I mean? Because, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know what I mean? The whole situation, you know what I mean, it's just insane. This whole shit, it's crazy. I mean, what do y'all think about this shit? But I hope you have a good breakfast, a good dinner, good night, man. I love y'all, man. See y'all in the next video. Peace.